University of Jammu, Department of Education. He has 11 years of teaching experience. He is the coordinator of AMED program. He has rich experience in research. He has focused on making meaningful contribution in the field of education. With this impressive background, Dr. Barwal take the helm of proceeding today. Before proceeding further, I would like to outline the guidelines for the presentation. The time limit for each presentation should be 5 to 7 minutes. Presentation should be brief and concise, and it includes methodology, objectives, and major findings of the study. Question and answer session will be taken at the last. With this auspicious start, sir, I kindly request to chair the session. Sir, please. So I would like to invite first participant to present the paper on ERP system as a catalyst for e-governance in higher education, a mixed method study of effectiveness and critical success factor. Mrs. Jashmita. There is combined paper with Professor K. Srinivas. So kind. Yes, she is online.
Is she connected?
Yes, sir. But she has shared her presentation. Yashmita, yes.
You can ask her to unmute.
Yes, Yashmita, kindly unmute.
Yes, ma'am, I have unmuted.
You can present.
You see my... Ma'am, is my screen visible?
No. You can present from your invoice.
Ma'am, is it visible now?
No.
You have not shared your screen.
Ma'am, I have shared the PPT as well.
We have your PPT, so we will share from our end.
You could just play it. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Last.
Yes, Yashmita, can you see the presentation?
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yashmita, can you see the
Yes, ma'am.
presentation?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, now you can start.
Yes, ma'am, I can. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So the title for my presentation is ERP system as a catalyst for e-governance in higher education institutions. It's a mixed method study to understand the effectiveness and the critical success factors for the implementation of e-governance in higher education institutions of Delhi. So why there is a need for e-governance? E-governance is basically when the process of good governance is followed using the electronic medium, that is the information and communication technology. Higher education policies, they play a very crucial role in the development of the country. And with the increase in the higher education demands, which is growing which is growing in India, it is very important that we frame the policies that take into consideration the interest of the students. With globalization impacting each and every area of our lives, it has also been impacting the education process. Then the education policy, they need to cater to the demands of the society, that is ensuring effective governance. With effective governance, I mean that all the stakeholders, that is the students, the teachers, the administrative staff, as well as the non-administrative staff has to be taken into consideration. Universities are now realizing that there is a need for multi-layered advanced governance to ensure accountability as well as transparency. Countries across the globe, they have started focusing on good governance, and they already know that the 20th century traditional model of governance are not going to help us. There is a need for integration of good governance as well as integration of information and communication technology to follow good governance in higher education institutions. So, with this, it is important that we look into the policies, and in fact, the national education policy. Ma'am, can you please change the slide? Even the national education policy has been advocating transparency and accountability into the educational institutions, and integration of ICT is important as per the national education policy into every aspect of higher education. ICT has changed the development in every aspect, which includes transportation, communication, and a free flow of ideas. ICT is gaining significance. Uh, uh, sorry. ICT is gaining significance in information economy, leadership problems, and concern for the environment as well. So, with this, it is important that we understand the relevance of e-governance and what are the critical success factors, what is the current status of e-governance, and how can we make the e-governance more successful into the higher education institution. Ma'am, can you please change the slide? Need of the study. As I told you that e-governance has been information and communication technology has been impacting each and every facet of our life. So the current study aims to understand the importance of enterprise resource planning. Enterprise resource planning was previously involved in the business model of the companies, but now even the higher education institutions have started using enterprise resource planning for e-governance in higher education. And as I told you that the traditional models of governance, they are not at all effective in today's model of governance as well as quality assurance. With e-governance, it's not just the transparency and accountability that is being impacted. It's not just that it's cost effective, but also it is ensuring accountability as well as the quality assurance of the higher education institutions. The policies that are framed even today they are always market oriented. They do not take into consideration the needs of the students. So e-governance ensures that the need of the student and the need of the stakeholders, as I told you before, the teachers, parents, this academic as well as the non-academic staff, is taken into consideration. With governance, it will help us in understanding how institutions are operating, how they are making the decisions, how they are ensuring quality, and it will also help us identify the areas that are required for improvement and to hold the institution accountable and ultimately ensure that the student receive the best possible education. Ma'am, can you change the slide? In the past 10 years, there artificial intelligence is also further augmenting the impact of education quality and what we are providing to the students. In this regard, it is essential that we understand the policy implementation of educational governance. And e-governance and ERP have the possibility to enhance the university administration by improving transparency, efficiency, accountability of the stakeholders towards the students, and also reducing the cost as well as protecting our environment, because all the information is stored in one centralized place, which is the enterprise resource planning. India is also, Delhi, the higher education institutions are now also transitioning towards Samarth. Samarth is an ERP model that has been developed specifically for higher education institutions, and it is free of cost, which is being provided by the government of India. And e-governance also ensures that there is trust that is built between the different stakeholders as well as the different departments of the higher education institution. Please change the slides. Ma'am, can you change the slide, please? The objectives and research questions. The objective is to understand the current status of e-governance in place, which is in higher education institution, to understand what are the critical success factors in e-governance of higher education institution, to understand how can we make the process of e-governance more accountable and user friendly, to understand whether the stakeholders
Can you
are
go quickly, because we have like 6 minutes and you have already consumed 5.5 in that. So if you can wind up in a
yes, ma'am.
brief
I'll
talk
just
about
come
your
to the methodology
results.
after this. Ma'am,
Yeah.
I'll just come to the methodology part after this.
Okay.
I'll just wind up within 2 to 3 minutes. Within 2 to 3
All right.
minutes, I'll wind
All right.
up. So, ma'am, I'll just wind up within 2 to 3 minutes. Within 2 to 3 minutes, I'll wind it up. So, the research question is, what are the current status to understand the more transparent and accountable, and whether the stakeholders are easily able to adapt to the e-governance modules that been implemented in higher education institutions. Ma'am, can you change the slides, please? Ma'am, can you please change the slide? Ma'am, can you please change the slide? Dimension, ma'am, वो आगे था actually. हाँ, methodology. For the purpose of this study, a mixed method study approach was followed. For the purpose of this study, a mixed method study approach was followed. That is using both qualitative as well as quantitative data for the collection of data. The study examined two aspects. Is to assess the current policies using both structured as well as semi-structured interviews, which includes all the stakeholders. The stakeholders were students, the teachers, the head of the institutions, the academic staff, which include the financial department, the library, controller of examination, and the admission department. And the second part was to further explore the prospects through the open-ended interviews to both the students as well as the other stakeholders. Population, ma'am, can you change the slide, please? Ma'am, all the universities that were located within the state of Delhi were the population of the study. A glance was taken into the higher education institutions that are currently in place. There were three categories that were formed. That is the central universities, the state universities, and the Institute of National Importance. There are currently 7 central universities, 10 state universities, and 6 Institute of National Importance. From this population, the sample that were chosen were for Central University, IGNU was chosen. For State University, Ambedkar University, Delhi, and Indira Gandhi Delhi Technical University was chosen. For Institute of National Importance, Indian Institute of Technology and Jamia Millia Islamia were chosen as as the sample for my study. Ma'am, can you change the slide, please? The study used purposive sampling, a non-probability sampling technique. Uh, uh, the study used both primary as well as secondary data for the collection for the collection well and educational policies, the current economic policy and current economic study whatever changes required and provisions were required, they were made on the technical as well as the non-technical.
Yashmita, you're breaking. Yashmita, can you hear us? Yashmita, we're going to wrap up your presentation, and I'm going to call another presenter. So we have your PPT, and we can, if we have time, we can go back to you at the end. All right. So the next presenter is Dr. Ritu. She's absent. Achha, next one is PPT in case.
Is my PPT visible?
The previous one you showed that was
Sharma.
Anand Sheila.
Is my PPT visible?
Yes.
Shall I start, ma'am? Shall I start, ma'am?
Yes, please go ahead. We can
Okay.
see your PPTs. Please start.
Okay. Good afternoon to our esteemed guests, teachers, students, scholars, and the entire audience. I, Dr. Ritu Sharma, faculty from UIT Kathua campus, going to present my presentation on the topic titled as E-Learning and Soft Skill Development and Assessment of Soft Skill Set in Technology-Enabled Learning Environment.
Dr. Ritu, can you put your presentation on presentation mode, your PPT?
Yes, ma'am.
Slideshow. Share your PPT and go to slideshow.
Yes, ma'am. Is it visible now, ma'am?
No, not yet. Are you sharing again?
Yes, ma'am.
Ask her to use the same method, and once it will be registered, then
Is it visible now?
We can, yes, perfectly all right. You have 5 minutes to present your work.
Okay. Now I continue from introduction. The loom of instructing and learning utilizes the modern ICT in order to basically systematize the learning and development process, thereby creating the comprehensive technology-based learning environment called as e-learning. E-learning basically is on the pathway of growth towards becoming the extensively used method of imparting the education. It has been relevant to assert that e-learning has to some extent replace, or it is going to replace, the traditional form of learning in all the spheres of education, training and development, and particularly the skill development. The skill development involves the development of soft skills for an individual, and because of which a possible connect between the e-learning and soft skill development can be explored and depicted, which is in the paper. Second is about the context. E-learning may possibly be spread with changing boundaries of time and can integrate the direct and indirect access. E-learning has taken the form of courses as well as modules and smaller learning objectives. These modules and objectives act as a guiding light on the path of the movement towards the overall and integrated skill development. Next is about the objectives of the study. The paper aims to draw the lines that link together the e-learning to soft skill development. The primary objective of the study was to understand and get conceptual clarity, defining the inclusions and exclusions in the theory, explaining the relationship between e-learning and soft skill development. Also, the study explores the avenues around whether e-learning can substitute the traditional learning for soft skill development based on the applicability of ICT. Next is about the research design and methodology. For the purpose, the SLR methodology of exploratory research was carried out, looking into the reputed resources, focusing on building up a concept matter by using the reports. Published and unpublished sources have also been used. After having analyzed the literature for the present research, we came about some important theoretical underpinnings and synthesis that have been elaborated further. First, synthesis that have been identified is e-learning over the traditional learning. As known from the recent trends, it is certain that the approach by which the knowledge is delivered is being restructured by internet and multimedia technologies, which has led e-learning to come up as a real alternative to traditional learning. It is to be noted that e-learning determines the learning behaviors and learning opportunities, which control the learning outcomes like performance and skill development. E-learning is basically an effective learning mode that has become important role in student sustainable education, particularly of skill development. Second is about e-learning as e-learning. 1 second. E-learning as an enabler for soft skill development. So the facet of empowering the learners with a set of soft skills readily being used in the world of work that has brought up in the present higher education curriculum. E-learning is a strategic and effective enabler of scaling the skills to succeed the employment outcomes. Based on the student-centered learning for the development of soft skills, e-learning encourages to integrate the powerful learning experiences and fosters the application of soft skills to real-world context, creating the sustainable futures. The incorporation of e-learning as a didactic process would help to develop the soft skills desirable for the future professionals. Moreover, the OECD organization study also elucidates that the emergent use of digital technologies, which is enormously increasing the demand at work and generates the significant opportunities for the skill set along with the use of ICT. Third is about the e-learning for imparting the soft skill training and evidence. The growing use of digital technologies at work is basically increasing the demand and creates a remarkable opportunities for the novel skill set along with the use of ICT. In higher education sphere, e-learning is of greater significance in effective lifelong learning and education for the sustainable development. The Economic Intelligence Unit Report 2015 also identified that problem solving, team working, and communication skills are presently stipulated in the workplace. And specifically in the corporate like Nestle, e-learning is used to instruct the employees related to communication, teamwork skills. Next is about the discussion that includes the theoretical underpinnings that have been extracted from the literature. First, theoretical underpinning is e-learning as experiential learning and experiential learning for the soft skill development. Hazel's study assessed that experiential learning perception and established that experiential learning has a potential to significantly improve the life skills development. Similarly, the other study remarked the students engaged in experiential learning based practices are enabled to enhance their soft skills stipulated by the employer's needs. And Woodinger and Ellison findings of the study also revealed that 97% of the faculty perception believes that various skills, namely communication skills, critical thinking skills, problem solving skills, and other skills can be enhanced through service learning as an effective method of experiential learning. Second, theoretical underpinning that has been found was e-learning as individual personalized learning and individual personalized learning for soft skill development. The e-learning has led to the personalization of learning experience for the individuals. That's why it has led to evolution of sphere of individual learning. The e-learning always considers the individual learner differences. Digital technology in the form of e-learning helps to advance the quality and responsiveness of exchange interactions between the learner and the teacher. Primarily, the e-learning enables the instantaneous interactions and immediate feedback along with the teachers to personalize the instruction as per the aspiration of the individual learner. Third underpinning was e-learning encourages the collaborative learning for the soft skill development. The research evidence suggests that learning is a social process whereby knowledge construction occurs through negotiation, interactions, and cooperation. The digital technology enabled learning environment, it facilitates working in groups along with interaction with each other. So e-learning system thereby support the collaborative communication and interactions between the instructor and the peers. So this has led to the rise in collaboration between the teachers and the student as it makes comparing and sharing the material much easier. Next underpinning was e-learning for soft skill focused training and development. So education and training are the two levels on which the e-learning can be scrutinized in the scenario. So when we
Can you
talk
wind up?
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Enhancement of various skills of an individual or an employee in the organization. Overall, the soft skills can be learned from the training, which is facilitated in the current scenario. The implications and conclusion from the theoretical and conceptual clarity about the topic can help the industry and the academia to build a strong understanding, which when it comes to soft skill development among the prospects that soft skills have been prioritized recently in determining the employability as well as growth and development of the individuals. So thus, by speeding up the learning process for soft skills development and eliminating the wasteful actions involved in the process, making it an anywhere, anytime phenomena. So e-learning can prove to be utmost utility. These were the references that have been used for making this research paper. These were also the references, and thank you.
Thank you so much. That was comprehensive explanation. Thank you. Now I invite Ms. Sheila Anand for her presentation.
Good afternoon, sir, and to all the audience. I'm Sheila Anand, a PhD research scholar from St. Xavier's College of Education, Patna. And my paper today is Blended Learning Approaches teachers' perception and pedagogical intervention in digital learning. I start with a quote. Teachers are the architects of learning, and technology is the tool that helps build the bridge between traditional and modern learning. Today, power comes from knowledge, and education is the key in acquiring it. Education makes a major contribution to the pupil's overall growth. In the sphere of education, there has been a paradigm change from the teacher-directed to learner-directed classroom. Various committees and commissions in India have strongly advocated for the integration of ITC and digital technology within the education system to enhance its effectiveness. A teacher must develop a set of abilities, knowledge, and attitudes known as digital competence to integrate information and technology into the classroom. Given that the digital tools are now deeply woven into the fabric of teaching and learning process, teachers must drive change in the education system by leveraging technology. Kathy Bunnett's 2016 highlights the connection between curriculum, pedagogy, and school via digital platform to promote children's social and emotional development. Technology in the education has fundamentally altered conventional classroom environment and sparked a shift toward blended learning strategies that make use of digital resources. Redesigning India's education system is the aim of National Education Policy 2020, highlighting the substantial change in the direction of online and mixed learning. According to the policy, this new way of learning is the need of the hour. Blended learning integrates traditional teaching method with online resources to enhance its learning experiences. Ramila Anwar 2022 found in his study that integrating technology in classrooms promoted active learning and enhanced student autonomy through increased opportunities for reviewing and reinforcing conceptual understanding. One of the crucial factors to consider in mixed learning settings is the role of a teacher, that is, the role of a facilitator or a guide, emphasizing the application of student-centered. The significance of the study. Teachers face challenges in integrating blended learning into their daily teaching due to various issues requiring specific skills and a positive attitude. Hence, it is essential to study the perception of teachers toward blended learning and how this new approach is a pedagogical intervention in digital learning. The research objective was to study the perception of teachers toward blended learning, to find the mean score of perception of school teachers toward blended learning with respect to their age and with respect to the school type. The null hypothesis were two null hypotheses. One was to find there is no significant difference in the mean score of school teachers' perception toward blended learning with respect to their age and to the school type. The methodology, a descriptive survey method was used to collect the relevant data, and the data was distributed this way. 62 missionary school teachers, 32 government school teachers, and 30 private school teachers were taken for this study. Research tool, a self-constructed 5-point rating scale has been used to study the perception and readiness of the teachers toward blended learning. The tool consisted of 53 items on different dimensions of learning in teaching learning process, and open-ended questions were also included. The technique used were percentage analysis, mean, standard deviation, ANOVA was used for it. The first thing, the perception of school teachers toward blended learning, we found that 92 teachers, that is 74.19 teachers, had moderate level of perception toward blended learning. 10.49% had high, and 15.32 had low. But as we see that we can conclude the high and the moderate level, so teachers' perception toward blended learning is changing, and they're trying to adopt to this new technique. In the age group, we did not find any significant difference in the age of teachers below 30, between 30 and 35, and above 45, because it's now almost 2 years and above that we are above the pandemic, and teachers have taken it as a thing that now they have to use digital technology in everyday life, and there is no turning back. But when we saw the second one, the private school, government school, and missionary school, we found a significant difference between the school. And when we conducted a post hoc test, it was found that there was a difference between the government and private, and the government and missionary schools. Between the private and missionary schools, we did not see any significant difference because We all know that the private schools and missionary schools are well equipped. The teachers have a lot of facilities, whereas the government schools still need to have a lot of facilities and need to bring about a change. So the recommendations that were given from both private school, missionary school, and government school was regular workshop and seminars to upgrade their skills, short-term courses on professional development and proper training to adapt blended learning, provision of digital tools and resources for better implementation, and the very important thing that they told was institutional support. If the institution supports the teachers, they will be free to tell their problems and when they're stuck up. So institutional support was the major thing that the teachers are looking for. Conclusion, from the result, it was found that age is not a barrier for using blended learning approaches. Most of the teachers have accepted it. However, it is still seen some teachers, especially those in the government schools, are not very comfortable with blended learning approaches. Technology cannot replace teachers. Implementing blended learning strategies necessitates educators to precisely know what tools to use, when, and how much. Concluded. And I conclude my this thing, technology alone cannot replace great teachers, but teachers who embrace technology can redefine education for a new generation. Thank you.
All right, the next presentation is of Miss Savita Ranga. Are you online?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Ma'am, am I audible?
yes, you are.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. May I start my presentation, ma'am?
Yes. Are you sharing the slides, PPTs?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You have 5 minutes for your presentation.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, are these visible?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, okay. Okay. My topic for presentation is Challenges and Opportunities of Digital Learning, a Study in Indian Economy. I am Savita Ranga, Associate Professor, Department of Commerce, Vash College, Rohtak. First of all, introduction. Indian education influencing so many things like more population, poverty, teacher skills, teaching methods, pedagogy, and finances. Learning is a lifelong process. Digital learning is a combination of content and method. It is delivered by electronic elements. Digital learning is one of the most affected ways of education. Digital learning is changing education into a new dimension. Objective of my paper is to know about the education in India, to know about the learning and digital learning, to know about the challenges for digital learning, and to know about the opportunities of the digital learning. Education in India. India's education system is the largest in the world. The school system in India has two levels, the primary level and the secondary level. In the Indian education system, different types of schools are there, such as government schools, government aided private schools unaided, national schools, international schools, and home schools. The next stage of college or university level, at this level, most of the administration is controlled by the University Grants Commission, which enforces its standards, advises the government. At the level of open and distance learning school, the National Institute of Open Schooling provides opportunities for continuing education to those who missed completing school education. State governments also introduced in 2012 State Open School to provide distance education. At the higher education level, Indira Gandhi National Open University coordinates distance learning. The Distance Education Council, an authority of IGNOU, is coordinating 13 state open universities and 119 institutions of correspondence courses in conventional universities. The next slide is about learning. Learning is the process of acquiring new understanding, knowledge, behavior, skills, values. The ability to learn is processed by human, animals, and some machines. There is also evidence for some kind of learning in certain plants.
Yeah. Savita ma'am, can you hear me?
Now come to the learning factors. There are two type of learning factor, like external and internal. External factors mainly explain heredity, status of students, like physical and home conditions and physical environment. And in internal factors mainly explain goals or purpose, motivational behavior, interest, attention, etc. Now come to the learning style. These are the learning style like visual, auditory, linguistic, physical, logistical, interpersonal. We can say that in visual learners are those that learn image or cues to help them process the information. While auditory learner is a unique type of learning style, but it is used to classify those who respond primarily to sound. In linguistic, learners learn best both under verbal instructions and writing, while in physical learners, like getting their hands dirty, they learn the best way of going through the motions of what they are learning. Logical thinkers, mostly presuming mathematicians, engineers, or sciences, and interpersonal or social learners are natural group workers. These are the characteristics of learning. Like learning involves change and activities, learning requires interaction, learning may be a lifelong process, learning occurs randomly throughout life, etc. Digital learning.
Savita ma'am, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, Savita ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
After you study here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you
Ma'am,
just
this is a theoretical paper, conceptual paper.
okay? Then can you give 5 takeaways on the paper? What did you find?
Okay, digital learning. Digital learning may be a sort of learning combination of context and methods by electronic elements. It is associated by technology. It encompasses the appliances of a good spectrum of practices, including virtual learnings. Digital learning strategies include adaptive learning and blended learning, classroom technologies and e-textbooks, learning analytics and learning objects, mobile learning, personalized learning, e-learning, technology enhanced teaching and learning.
Ma'am,
Digital learning.
so sorry, we are running late. So can you wind up your this paper?
Okay, ma'am. Um, these are the tools and resources like Google Class, Easy Class, RSS, etc. 21st digital education in India. These are the issues with digital learning, which was the one of the objective. First one is technology continuously changing, lack of quality content, high cost. Like technology and digital resources are expensive, therefore, teachers and schools should be prepared to hunt grants and community support for funding. Next one is securities issues, like more online activity also result in more security issues. The next one is teacher skill. Teacher skills are the most important within the teacher learning process. So the teacher training programs are useful to develop different methods in his or her teaching learning process. Digital classroom is also one of the issue, and language and syllabus related challenges, maintenance of digital equipment and financing. These are the some issues which are related to digital learning. Then opportunities of digital learning. Uh,
Okay, thank you, ma'am, so much.
okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Ma'am, may I stop sharing?
Please, please.
Okay, thank you.
The next presenter is Mr. Cynthia Gurmesa.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
All right, let me share the PowerPoint.
हेलो हाँ जी बस अभी भी खत्म हो गया मेरी
All right, is that
आपकी हो
visible,
गई
the PowerPoint?
No, please,
हेलो
please.
हाँ
No.
Is that visible?
हाँ बस अभी हो गया बीच में
Sorry, is that visible, the PowerPoint? Can I proceed?
Yes, it is visible, sir.
All right, thank you very much for the opportunity. Let me say a few words about the PowerPoint. It said that the practice and challenges of digital technology in Ethiopia educations. So due to the time, I will be somehow fast. The introduction and the context part, digital technology has a significant role in teaching and learning practice, as well as pedagogical practice in every circumstance, saying from lower level to the higher university levels. So here we say that it will prepare a student for knowledge-based economy
I'm sorry,
system.
Mr. Gurmesa, can you have a slideshow, please?
Slide.
Your presentation is not on the slideshow mode.
Okay. Is that now? Is that visible now?
It is visible, but it's not on the presentation mode, on the slideshow. And on the top, You can see on the menu bar, there's a slideshow
Slideshow, okay.
on the top menu bar.
Menu
Where you
bar.
find home, where it's home, there's a slideshow, right? On your right.
Right. All right. I cannot find it.
Your top menu bar, there's a slideshow.
Slideshow. More, okay. Can I enter
Sir, can
more
can you please press the F5 key? There is a function key F5. Can you please press?
Okay, F5. Function.
At the top of your keypad.
Yeah, I just press it, F5. Does it appear now?
No.
All right.
So at the menu option, you will see the home, insert, design. Can you see that options?
Yeah, here it said that mute, stop, participant, chats, pause, share, summary.
Yes,
remote.
yes. No. Can you just click on the slideshow?
Oh, okay.
The PPT
Slide.
screen.
Go up.
But you know the options are only mute, stop video,
No,
participant.
I'm not talking about the Zoom platform. I'm just talking about the PowerPoint slide.
The PowerPoint slide. Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. Slideshow.
At the top, nearest to the animations, there will be a option slideshow.
Slide.
No. Above. The main menu options. No. No worry. You can continue with the current one, please.
Okay. All right.
Thanks.
Sorry for taking your time. So can I proceed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, please.
All right. So whenever I came on introduction and context parts, as I told you before, the digital technology has got a great effect on teaching and learning practice as well as pedagogical practice. Beside, the digital technology will have a significant role on knowledge-based economy, what we have to see as a very important concept. The second basic element will be this research will enhance the stakeholders' understanding about digital technology and provide direction to the government as well the private organizations which are working on the systems. The research objectives are on two parameters. The first one is that assessing the current practice of digital technology in Ethiopian education. And the second parameter is identifying the challenge in this digital technology education in Ethiopia. So the research methodology, I have used the primary and secondary source of data. From the secondary data, I have just observed a policy document from the federal and regional government office. And I have also referred a desk review of few research papers on the subject matters. Besides, I have also just make an interview with key informants regarding this topic. The status of
Sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Kamesa. Can you just share your findings in next 2 minutes,
findings.
please?
All right, I can do that. The key findings are that digital technology adoption in Ethiopia school is still infant stage. Second part said that information and communication technology infrastructures and the scarcity of skilled laborers are available in our country, Ethiopia. The third point said that the Ethiopian education development roadmap failed to address important cross-cutting issues like ICT. And the fourth finding said that the frequent and unexpected change in policy that the teacher's education system experience and make it difficult to adapt and digest. And the fifth point regarding our finding is that the influence of politics on hiring and placing of management personnel on education systems. And the sixth finding said that financial shortage in the education sectors. As you can see, the United Nations E-Government Development Index in 2022, Ethiopia ranked 163rd out of 193 nations, suggesting that the nation has benefited from the very little technological advancement. When I came to the conclusion part, digital technology adoption in Ethiopia school is still in its infant stage. The main obstacle has been educators and student inadequate understanding of an ability to use digital technology. Ethiopia faces unique difficulties in integrating digital technologies into the educational system. Contributions of the paper, it will change teachers' education and training to enhance the ease of digital technology by providing directions. It identified the real gaps in the use and integration of digital technology in Ethiopia education. The third, it will serve as an input for federal and regional policy makers. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for giving us an overview of the use of digital technology in Ethiopia. So we move along and we go to the next presenter. I invite Dr. Ronika Sharma for her presentation.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bhati. With the permission of the chair, I'll not take much time. Since it is a qualitative study, myself, Dr. Ronika Sharma, former HOD and professor in School of Education, and presently working as a director, Composite Regional Center for the Persons with Disabilities in Jammu, under Ministry of Social Justice and Environment. I request Sanjay to go for the presentation mode. So, topic of my presentation is open and digital learning with the skill development of students with special needs, case studies from India. So I'll just going to share 5 case studies with you, and all these 5 case studies show that there is positive impact over the persons with disabilities, particularly children with special needs. And in different states of India, there are certain programs which has been launched by the government or by the NGOs to see that how digital learning impacted the students with disabilities. Move ahead, Sanjay. So basically, these are the objectives of my study, since it is a qualitative study, to highlight the benefits of open and digital learning for students with special needs, to identify, because I have identified 5 case studies, so I want to share with you the success stories and to review the impact of open and digital learning. Go ahead. So it is a qualitative study, and I have used secondary source as a tool to collect my information. Next. Objective 1 is to highlight the benefits. So these all are the benefits indicating that students or persons with special needs, they really benefited from open and digital learning. Is it individualized learning, accessibility, social interaction, flexibility, life skill training, assistive technologies, feedback, global learning opportunity? Above all, long-term learning. Move ahead, Sanjay. So my objective 2 and 3 is to share the success stories, and this is a story first, that is Saksham program for students with hearing impairment in Delhi. And the background is Saksham program was launched in Delhi, India to support students with hearing impairment through open and digital learning. And this program was implemented by having sign language videos, interactive learning apps. Teachers were trained, and there were certain assistive technologies. And the impact is it improved the communication skills among students with hearing impairment. It enhanced their learning, and yes, it moves for the inclusive education. Story second is the Kerala State Open School Inclusive Digital Learning Initiative, and this program was implemented with the help of accessible digital content, individualized learning plans for children with special needs, online tutor support, parental involvement, and the impact is it has improved educational outcome, increased confidence among the students with special needs. It also involved the parents, so parents were empowered, and awareness and advocacy. Story number 3 is Eklavya initiative in Rajasthan. So it was implemented through digital learning centers were established, adaptive content was made, customized learning plans were developed, and the impact is it improved the accessibility level of students with special needs, it enhanced their engagement, it customized different programs for them, and they get empowered. Next. Study 4 is National Digital Library Access for particularly visually impaired students. So the program was implemented through text to speech conversation and audio books and e-books. It increased access for persons with visual impairment. They become more independent and they need to improve their educational outcomes. And the last success story is SWAM platform. We all know that. And it was implemented with the accessibility feature and diverse course offering. It leads to wider inclusion. It increased the participation of persons with disability and it enhanced their learning. So at last, the finding is that all the above mentioned case studies demonstrated that open and digital learning initiative in India have positively impacted students with special needs by improving access to education, providing customized learning material, fostering inclusive education. So all these programs indicated that digital and open learning really help the students with special needs. I have some recommendations which I will be sharing with you all through the presentation, my presentation only. And at last, I concluded that the core value and principles of open and digital learning is to support inclusiveness. It will push all stakeholders in order to have equity, equality, and justice for every learner, including learners with special needs. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ronika ma'am, for the crisp presentation and also highlighting how digital learning is helping children with special needs. Moving along, we have next presenter, Mrs. Jyoti Sharma. I invite her for presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. And with the permission of the chair, I, Jyoti Sharma, Assistant Professor, MIER College of Education, is now going to present my PowerPoint presentation on the topic skill development through open educational resources. Have you ever considered the power of knowledge, the power of resources, the power of so many things that are providing to us with the help of technological advancement, not only sculpting the education, but also the practical skills. And now in technological era, it is very important for us that we enhance our personal and professional advancement, and that can only be possible with the help of technology. So, sir, please forward. Moving ahead, the main focus is on workforce development because in developing countries and most importantly in country like India that is considered as developing country, the population is very scattered. The workforce population is very scattered. So it becomes very important that they can enhance their skills, their existing skills, and that can only be possible with the help of technology. Sir, please move forward. So, open educational resources that are defined as teaching, learning, and research material in any medium that permit no cost access, retain, reuse, revise, combine, and reshare. And these are some of the examples of OER, like academic guides, modules, podcasts, educational practices, courses, research documents, repositories. So, please continue. Now moving towards, because I am going to give an overview. So history and growth of OER that starts from Massachusetts Institute of Technology that is in US. So the initiative was taken by MIT in 2002 by launching Open Courseware project through which they gave access that through internet students can access the courses of this institute. In 2005, UNESCO coined the term open educational resources. In 2012 again, UNESCO through the Paris OER Declaration released the document which asked the governments to support and to help in the development of OER. And now MOOCs, Coursera, FutureLearn, so many platforms are there which are providing open educational resources that enhance the skill development of the individual. And skill development, simply we know it means the hand-on practices. So please move forward. So the importance of skill development in today's rapidly changing job market is that because of these initiatives, things, technological advancements, job market competition, evolving job roles, lifelong learning, career growth and advancement, adaptability and resilience. Because of these things, we need to enhance our skills. And the advantages of OER for skill development is affordability, accessibility, flexibility, collaboration, continuous improvement. One can easily afford, one can easily access, one can easily collaborate. So I have given some examples through some case studies.
In South Africa, the University of Cape Town developed OER project that aim to improve the quality of teaching and learning, especially mathematics and science. In United States, the OpenStax project at Rice University has developed a range of OER textbooks. And in United Kingdom, they developed the OER courses to enhance the digital learning. And in India, National Program on Technology and Enhanced Learning has developed the range of OER courses, especially engineering and technology. So there are some challenges in quality control and sustainability of OER, like ensuring accuracy and reliability, consistency, language and cultural barriers are there, funding and resource allocation, technical infrastructure, and community engagement and collaboration. These are some challenges that still we are facing. And there are some suggestions which helps us to overcome these things, like establish quality assurance processes, provide training and support, foster collaboration, seek diverse funding sources, and promote open licensing. So in conclusion, I just want to say that open educational sources have made a significant impact on skill development. So our government should try to take more and more initiative, and the educational institutions and non-educational institutions and organizations, they should try to develop more and more OERs that should be free of cost for the students, so that they can enhance their professional development skills and personal pursuits. Thank you.
Thank you, Jyoti ma'am, for adhering to the time and giving a crisp, overview of this presentation. The next presentation is a joint presentation of Dr. Bhati Tandon and Ms. Depriya. So I invite Ms. Depriya for her presentation.
A very good afternoon to all of you. Myself Depriya, and I am going to present with a presentation on topic exploring student motivation to learn online, a case study in collaboration with Dr. Bhati Tandon ma'am. Okay. So the content that are discussed in this presentation are introduction, literature review, need and significance, objective methodology, findings, suggestions, and recommendations for further research. Next slide. Technology has great impact on the field.
Go to the objective and then methodology. Skip this. Go ahead.
So objective of the study, the focus of this study explored what motivates students to take online courses in order to help higher educators to better understand why students choose to take online courses. Next slide, please. So the methodology part, explanatory case study method was used in this study. So it is a case study. The data consists of 34 students from MED Special or MED Journal from this college. All the students have undergone either online course or completed MOOC. Then tool used, questionnaire was used, and a group interview was used, results and findings. So participant profile 20. Next. Results. Participant profile. So 29 students were female and 5 were male. 19 were between the age group of 25 to 30 and 12 were between the 20 to 24. And out of 34 students, 24 students have masters in one of the academic subjects like English, mathematics. And 62 were belonging to urban area and 38 were belonging to rural area. Next slide. So more than 50% of students find traditional classes are less difficult than online classes. However, 24% of students did not find any difficulty in online learning. Furthermore, most of the students in the interview said that once if the orientation or a technical support was provided, they found the online learning more enjoyable. Then 52% of students find they have control over their learning process in online courses or program. Even it was also highlighted in the interview that they can learn from anywhere and anytime depending upon their schedule. Next slide, please. And 61% of students said that online learning saved their time from wasting time on travel. And then 50% students said that they have get immediate feedback from instructor in online courses or program. Then 43% of students said they are motivated to learn online than in traditional face-to-face classes. Then some of the students say that the online learning is less expensive and self-paced than traditional learning. Next slide, please. While interview, a few of the students say that the one online courses bring together students for diverse background for location. This allow them to this allow them to get global network and collaboration and exposure to different perspectives. This motivates them to learn online courses. And other students said that the online education cater to various learning styles, which may better suit their individual learning preferences, which is missing in the traditional face-to-face learning environment. Then the most of the student says in group interviews that online learning provide access to wide range of courses or programs, often covering specialized topics that may not be really available in traditional learning. This allows them to motivate them to learn online. Next slide, please. So while conducting the interview, we have highlighted two challenges. That is internet issue. There is a lack of communication between the peer and the instructor. Attention issues, assignment, assessment issues, and practical skills. Next slide, please. Here are a few suggestions given by the student. Engaging in discussion, collaboration on projects for sharing insight with peers can make the online learning experience more enjoyable and motivating. Having structure and routine and goal as them to say. Then suggestion for the further study. Present study was conducted on postgraduate students and single study was done on the undergraduate students. Then this research is done on case study method. Further search can be done on using this method. Search. Next slide, please. Here are few references. Thank you.
Thank you, Devpriya, for sharing the results of your case study. Moving along, we have a joint presentation, next joint paper, and I invite Ms. Sandeep for her presentation.
Good afternoon, everybody. I, Sandeep Kaur, collaborating with Isha ma'am, is going to present a paper on MOOC platform for open and digital learning around the world. Yes, third slide. So not wasting much of your time on open and digital learning, since we have gathered so much of information about open and digital learning since morning, directly moving on to what is MOOC. So massive open online courses are the most prominent trend in higher education. It has generated significant popularity in higher education since the first MOOC in 2008 for its potential education through ease of access, free content delivery, and opportunities for everyone to participate. We have stepped into the era of open and digital learning. It has a significant impact on people and the education world. Education is changing and evolving constantly. Open and digital learning gives rise to improvement in the method of interaction between the participants of teaching learning process, and MOOC are one of the best platforms for open and digital learning. So MOOC stand for massive open online courses. Massive because thousands and hundreds of people are enrolled in these courses. Open because everyone is free to enroll in it. Online because it is delivered via internet, and courses because there are different courses on MOOC. So history of MOOC. History of MOOC. The term MOOC was coined. Okay. So how does MOOC work? How does MOOC work? So MOOC are online courses that a student accesses through the internet. Typically, these courses consist of traditional class material made accessible online, which can include the following: filmed or recorded lectures, reading, problem set, online quizzes and examination, interactive learning modules. So there are different, next slide, different providers around the world. So Ellison, Coursera, edX, Future Learn, Coursera. It is a platform in United States. No, okay. Okay, these all were different providers around the world. SWAYAM and NPTEL are two MOOC based in India, MOOC platform based in India. There are different characteristics of MOOC. Sir, further slides. Different characteristics of MOOC are open learning, open platform for everybody. They can participate, unlimited participation. There is no bondage. Open curriculum. There are two type of MOOCs, X MOOCs and C MOOCs. C MOOCs, which are connective, massive, open online course that share different online learning element and environment and are connected together in variety of ways. XMOOC or extended massive open online course. XMOOCs tend to be based on content provided by universities and other educational institutions that provide significant research based content and background in the online learning content. Benefits of MOOC: no physical location dependency, improved access to higher education, affordability for higher education, flexible learning schedule, diverse subject collaboration opportunities, self-paced learning, personal growth, and lifelong learning. Limitations of MOOC: high attrition rate, not meant for students with special needs, no special attention, no requirement for signing up for course. The effective use of MOOC requires digital literacy, less accessible to instructor. So concluding it, MOOCs have a profound impact on the landscape of education, providing unprecedented access to knowledge, fostering skill development, and reshaping traditional learning paradigm. While challenges exist, ongoing development and innovation in the MOOC space suggest a promising future for online learning as a complement of traditional education models. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sandeep. So we are moving along and we have a last presenter, Mrs. Suman Devi.
Good afternoon, respected chair and dear audience. I will be speaking about challenges and opportunities of digital learning in India. Next slide, sir. Next. Digital learning. So next. Digital learning is available to people on their devices due to the revolution of in technological advancement in the field of education. Digital education means digital learning. It is a type of learning that is supported by digital technology. Digital education in India has evolved at a faster rate over the years. Next. Digital learning. Digital learning is classroom technology and textbook, e-textbook with electronic gadgets in our personalized learning. Digital learning pedagogies. Yes, sir. Pedagogies can be hybrid or blended learning, differentiated learning. So next, digital learning tools and sources. During pandemic and even today, as well, we are using digital learning tools and sources like Google Classroom, Easy Class, Drive, MOOCs, Canva, etc. Next, the goal of the 21st century digital learning education in India is skill-based learning using modern technology. Next slide, sir. Threats and challenges of digital learning. However, there are certain challenges associated with it. For instance, like lack of quality, content, digital classroom, teacher skills, etc. Suggestions and opportunities. So the opportunities and suggestions for digital learning is to develop high quality digital learning programs like teacher skill, like develop high quality learning for programs, teacher skill development, flexible teaching strategies, etc. Now, finally, I will be able to conclude by saying that digital learning is more affected within the education. 21st century education is the most vital to a nation's development, and our goal should be to make it more inclusive and accessible to every vulnerable sections of the society. So I would like to end my presentation with a quote. Technology will, sir, next. Technology will never replace great teachers, but in the hands of great teachers, it's transformation. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you, Suman ma'am. And with this, we end the presentation in the auditorium. Now I invite Dr. Jaspal Singh Verma for the final word.
Dear students, hello. Dear students, सभी पेपर में से एक कॉन्सेप्ट आपने सुना होगा, डेक, DEC, डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन काउंसिल, जो अब नहीं है, क्योंकि ये सारे पेपर डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन और ऑनलाइन लर्निंग और ऑनलाइन प्रोग्रामिंग पर थे। तो इसके लिए आपको जो अभी रिसेंट बॉडी है जो डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन को देखती है, उसका नाम है डेप, डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन ब्यूरो, जो कि यूजीसी के प्लेटफॉर्म पे है। पहले जो डेक हुआ करती थी, डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन काउंसिल, वो इग्नो के प्लेटफॉर्म से चलती थी। तो एक ये कॉन्सेप्ट आया था जो कि अभी नहीं है, लेकिन उसको ये यूज किया गया, तो इसलिए मुझे बताना पड़ा कि ये कॉन्सेप्ट अब डेप के नाम से जाना जाता है, डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन ब्यूरो। तो ऑल इंडिया में जितने भी कोर्सेज डिस्टेंस से रिलेटेड हैं, वो सारे डेप के अंडर ही रिकॉग्नाइज किए जाते हैं और एफिलिएटेड होते हैं। दूसरा, पेपर्स बहुत अच्छे थे और कुछ तो ओवरव्यूज पूरा का पूरा उन्होंने दिया हुआ था, लेकिन अभी जो चैलेंजेस है जो हम सब लोगों के सामने आ रहा है, हमने ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन शुरू की है बहुत सारे यूनिवर्सिटीज में, पर उस पर अभी फेथ नहीं है हमारी कंट्री के लोगों को कि क्या ये ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज जॉब के प्रोफाइल में इक्विवेलेंट होंगे फेस टू फेस कोर्सेज के साथ। क्या ये कोर्सेज, क्योंकि बहुत सारे लोग यूनिवर्सिटी ने शुरू तो कर लिया है ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज, लेकिन उनके पास इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं है, वो अभी उन मशीन्स को खरीदने में या उन स्टूडियोज को बनाने में लगे हुए हैं, जबकि उन्होंने ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज शुरू कर लिए। वो आने वाले दिनों में बहुत बड़े चैलेंजेस रहने वाले हैं। उन सारे पेपर्स प्रेजेंटर्स का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया जिन्होंने कंट्रीब्यूट किया इसमें। टाइम कम दिया हमने कुछ प्रेजेंटर को, वो टाइम हमेशा से चैलेंज रहता है, क्योंकि ये लास्ट जब सेशन होता है तो वो सब लोगों को प्रेशर है इस बात का। लेकिन क्योंकि पीपीटीज हैं हमारे पास सबकी, तो जरूरत पड़ेगी तो सब उसको हम सर्कुलेट कर सकते हैं या अपनी वेबसाइट पे डाल सकते हैं।